Join my Discord server, the link is down in the description. Yo, what is going on, you absolute legends? Welcome to this video, everybody. In this video, I'm going to be going over 5 things that noobs do in Pixel Gun 3D. Now, I don't want anybody to be offended by anything I say during this video because, of course, this is just stereotypes. This doesn't apply to all players, so if you do one of these things, that doesn't mean that you're a noob. But a lot of people who are like new players or just noobs in general will actually do a lot of these things. So if you have like one of these things that you do, don't worry about it, guys. Again, I don't want to offend anybody. This is just a video for entertainment purposes, of course, but these are going to be 5 stereotypical things that noobs do in Pixel Gun 3D. So I made a video on this a long time ago, but in this video I'm going to be doing a couple of different things because in the last one I talked about 5 things, but in this one I'm doing 10, and these are all going to be different from the ones I talked about before. But if you guys want to check out that video, the link to it will be down in the description. Now, if you guys do enjoy this video, I'd very much appreciate if you subscribe, and if you don't subscribe, I am going to have to steal your liver and sell it on the black market. Anyway, I don't want to keep you guys here any longer, so let's go ahead and hop right into this video, guys.
Check this.
So one thing that a new player will do a lot is they'll use the same weapon over and over again, and more often than not, guys, it's going to be an automatic weapon. For example, like the liquid fire, but the one that I see the most is usually like the black mamba, or sometimes it's like this sort of weapon. They just kind of sit there and they'll just use the same weapon over and over again. They won't switch to any other categories, guys. There could be an explanation for it though, because one thing that a lot of them do is they upgrade one weapon and they just spend a bunch of time upgrading that one weapon, and then the rest of their weapons just aren't as good as this one. So they'll just continue to use this one weapon over and over and over again, and they'll just spam it the whole game. They won't use any other weapons, guys. If they're fighting you, it doesn't matter what you are doing, what scenario they are in, they'll just whip out the same weapon and they'll keep doing it. Another scenario where people do this is whenever they're losing by a lot, they'll just give up on trying to use any sort of skilled weapons, and they'll just whip out something that is just super overpowered, and they'll just start spamming it like crazy, guys. And then that's the only weapon that they use. They won't switch to any other weapons. I see this a lot with, where is it here? Yeah, right here, the primal beast, guys. A lot of people do like using this and just spamming this like crazy. This is like one that I see more often than not. Just people rocket jumping around like this, just spamming this one weapon over and over again. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because they gave up. I don't know if this is just the weapon that they have upgraded compared to all their weapons. I'm not sure, guys. This is just something that I see a lot of people do. So next up, guys, the next thing I'll be talking about is how like a bunch of noob players tend to just do this with their aim. Instead of like looking around, what they'll tend to do is they'll move side to side and just wait for them to be like, they'll wait for their opponent to just end up being on that dot in the middle of their crosshair there. They'll just move side to side like this, and then if someone just goes in their crosshair, they'll shoot just like this. Instead of like moving around like this to aim, they'll just wait for them to go into the middle of the crosshair. Now, there's a couple reasons that they like to do this. One, probably because their sensitivity is too high and they know that it's not going to work out no matter what they do, or that their sensitivity is too low and they don't know how to use it that low. So but what they could do instead is like to move it towards the middle of like the high and the low area and try that out, and if that doesn't work, just find a sensitivity that works. But like, you see a lot of new players just go like this to aim, instead of like, if they're 3-catting, even like there's some players who are new to 3-cat spam, and they'll go like, they'll just go one like this. They'll never like actually move. They'll just kind of do this sort of thing over and over again. I don't know why. I see it pretty often, honestly, especially like I said in duels. They just appear all the time. They're always there. There's like, you'll be sitting across the other end of the map and you're going like this, and you'll just see them going like this, waiting for you to appear in the middle of their crosshair. I see this a lot. I don't know why. I see this a lot on maps that are super long range too, like ones where it's like this. It's obviously going to be a lot harder if you're trying to aim like this. You're going to miss more shots. But if you have it like a good like height like this towards the middle, then you're like going to get a guaranteed hit if you just go like this. So I see a lot of like newbie players do this sort of thing. So another thing that you'll see a lot of new players do is they won't jump like ever. They'll always just be walking around the map like this, and they'll do like really weird movements like this. Instead of like just jumping, they'll just like kind of find a place where they don't have to jump, and then sometimes they'll like go like this, they'll run into something and be like, what do I do? And they'll be like, oh yeah, I could just kind of jump. So like a lot of the times they won't jump around. They'll just move around the map like in a really weird way. They'll just like move like this constantly, and even when they're like shooting their weapons, they're always just, they don't even jump, they just go like this, and they just never ever jump. I don't know, it's so random. I see it a lot on maps, especially like where you can't get around without jumping. So like if you go onto maps like this, you obviously can't go like past here, from here up onto there without like jumping or using this. So instead of like jumping faster, just going like this over it, they'll try and go like this, and they'll try and just like climb climb up like that. I don't know why. I see it's happened so much. Like, do they not know they have a jump button or something? I don't know. A really new player will do something like this, where if you're fighting someone and then they manage to kill you somehow, they'll see like your body like fly up in the air, like doing its ragdoll effect thing, and then they'll just start shooting the body still. So usually like after they kill you, they'll be like spamming something like this, and even after you die, they'll see your body fly away and they'll start shooting at your dead body until it disappears, and they're like, oh yeah, I got him. I don't know, it's so funny. I've seen this on duels all the time. This is not something that's rare at all. And a lot of new players, like whenever they get a kill, they'll either keep shooting the ground or they'll try and shoot the corpse after, because they don't know that they're dead. Even though there's like a big message that pops up on the middle of their screen, they'll still just keep shooting aimlessly. It's so funny. They'll just sit there like, oh, am I hitting him? Am I damaging him? And it's like, oh, I got the kill. Sweet. And then the next time you die again, like later in the game, they'll be like, oh yeah, oh, I'm getting him right here, dudes. I don't know, it's just so funny. I see it so much. I personally did this a lot when the ragdoll physics thing came out, because I didn't really know like if they were dead or not, because it said that they were going to be like a lot more better physics to the bodies after they get killed. But you know, at first I used to just shoot them and I was like, is he dead? Like, because their bodies would fly backwards like this until they like, you know, disappeared or something. But some of them have different effects. Like if you shoot them with this, they usually like slowly float backwards and they like disintegrate. I don't know, but there's a lot of different ragdoll effects. But I see a lot of new players just spam at the bodies in hopes that they would get, in hopes that they'll kill them even though they're already dead. This one I just had to hop onto duels for so I can try and demonstrate it. But a lot of new players, or a lot of just noobs in general, will just start using the same tactic over and over again despite it failing. So like for example, if you get killed and you spawn behind the same building, they usually will come out and do the same movement pattern. They'll come out from behind the building and they'll start walking straight, trying to use the same weapon. Now this kind of ties in with the first thing I talked about, where they use the same weapon. But with this, not only do they use the same weapon, but they try to use it in the same way over and over again. So like for example here, if I'm just coming up to the person, right, I'll just keep doing this over and over again. It's like pretend I'm like losing by a lot. So like I'll purposely die here just so I could do the same thing. This guy, come on, kill me please. Come on. There you go. So they'll come out from behind a building like this, and they'll just keep doing the same thing over and over again. They'll just be like this, even though it's not working for them. So like I just died there, and then ready, boom, I spawned behind the same building, and then start doing the same thing again, seeing if it works. Now sometimes it might work, and when they get that kill, it'll give them the satisfaction that, hey, I actually just won. Oh my gosh, I got a kill. Let me do that again because it seems to be working. And then they'll come out after they die and they'll do it again, and then like they might get a kill. Sometimes they don't. But for new players who have like bad aim, especially if they're like using weapons that are like laser weapons and stuff, if it doesn't work, they'll just keep trying it over and over again. And I don't know why. If they're not noticing that it's not working, what's going through their head? I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me. But they'll keep trying the same thing over and over again. They'll do like the same movements, the same pattern, everything. They'll just keep trying it until eventually it works. I don't know why they do this. So another really common one that I see a lot is when players start to use cosmetic hats instead of ones that actually give you benefits. Like the headphones here increase your primary damage. These ones increase movement speed, weapon damage, decreases self-explosion damage. This one has like increased melee speed. So these guys, all of these have like really good effects. Like all of these ones, for like above from this, they give you effect. But then you get into the cosmetic ones that literally have no function. Like all these hats are literally pointless, and they'll start wearing these hats and they'll start trying to get these craftable ones even though they have no purpose at all. These are all cosmetic things and they don't do anything to benefit you whatsoever. Yet the noobs will start to use these hats for no reason. Maybe they think that they give them some sort of advantage, but they don't. In fact, the ones that you can actually get within the game do give you an advantage. All of these ones have their own effects and things that they can do to benefit you, to make the game easier for you. But instead, the noob players will try and go for like the llama hat thing here. They're like, oh yeah, that looks great. Or oh yeah, this one right here, the Soviet hat thing, it looks perfect, dudes. Oh my gosh. Yes, this right here, oh my gosh, it's perfect. I don't know why, because maybe they don't know that the hats can actually give you effects. I'm not sure why they do this, guys. So this one has less to do with skill, but more to do with like something that you'll see a lot of noobs do, and that's just adding every single player that they can. They'll go into any game that they can. Sometimes it's going to be deathmatch, sometimes it'll be a sandbox game like I'm in here, and they'll come in and they'll just start adding all of these players, every single one. They'll start adding all of them. Now, why do they do this? I don't know. Maybe it's because they have no friends on their list. I don't know. That's probably the likely reason for it, but they'll add every single player in the game, even the ones that won't even talk. They'll just send them a friend request. I don't know why they do this. There's like no benefit to it or anything. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like they'll just go in and they'll be like, yep, I'm gonna add this guy. Oh, who's this guy right here? Lucy. Yep, let's add them too. In fact, there's only like a downside to it, because eventually your friends list is going to fill up with a bunch of random players you never talk to, and then you're not going to be able to add anybody else you actually do talk to. So again, guys, I don't know why they do this, but it's super common to see. Like, I'll always get like random friend requests from like low-level players in a deathmatch game I was just in, and that's because the person will go in and they'll just add every single person in the list. I don't know why they do this. So next up, guys, we're going to be talking about modules, and what I want to talk about these is the fact that a lot of new players don't know how to use modules, or they just won't use them at all, even if they know how they work. Now, a lot of players will go into a weapon that they just bought, they'll be like, oh yeah, this weapon looks cool, let me upgrade it, and then they'll see like, oh, this thing has no modules on it, I don't really need to add modules to it. And now, if they do put modules on it, they'll put something random there. They'll be like, I don't know, this one looks cool, we'll put that one on there. What does this thing do? The critical hit chance, sure, let's do it. And magazine size, sure, man, why not? Instead of like actually putting ones that like give you a special effect, like obviously the critical hit chance thing won't really give you too much, but if you combine two other ones, they'll give you like an effect. This one says deals chain damage to multiple targets. They don't know how to set those up, and so a lot of like new players will just head in and they'll just start adding random effects or random modules to their weapons, or they just won't add them at all. I don't know why exactly they do this. Maybe, like I said, they just don't know how it works, but I don't know. So the next one I'm going to be talking about, guys, is actually duel specific. This one you don't really see too much in other game modes, but especially whenever they're on duels, they'll just head into a duel game and they'll be fighting someone and they'll just aimlessly walk around with no purpose. They won't be fighting the other person. They'll just be walking around with one weapon out. Like sometimes it'll be something random too. Like they'll just be walking around like this, not even a super fast melee or anything, and they'll just be walking around aimlessly. It's just so funny to me. It makes no sense. They'll just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go hide in this building here, and then sometimes they'll come in, they'll just sit here like this. They'll just be aimlessly doing nothing. It's so funny to see. I see it, like I said, so often on duels. Especially on this map here on Ghost Town, you just see like a bunch of players will just aimlessly walk around with no purpose. They'll be like, yes, where's the enemy? I'm going to find them. Oh, I'm going to win this game. Look, oh, there he is. Shoot. He'll shoot at him a little bit, and then he'll just walk away. Then I'll just walk away again, not jumping. They'll just be like this, just wandering around like I have no idea what I'm doing. So this next one, guys, is going to be specific to minigames. Now again, I don't want to offend anybody, so just know that I am going to be talking about players who do nothing but play minigames. Now noobs especially will stop playing regular game modes, and then they'll just head on over to a minigame, and they'll just sit there and they'll play the same minigame over and over again without doing anything else. They won't play any normal game modes, they won't play duels, they won't play any deathmatch games. They'll just play the same minigame over and over again. You know, sometimes it'll be like deadly games, sometimes it'll be a different game, but nonetheless, guys, they'll just sit and they'll play a minigame over and over again instead of playing like the normal features of the game, like, you know, fighting parts. I don't know why they do this, because a lot of the game modes do give a lot of the game modes like duel and deathmatch and stuff give way better rewards than minigames do, but they still just go and play minigames. Now this isn't a problem, of course, but instead of like actually leveling up their player, like, of course, I think this does give you a little bit of XP and a little bit of coins and stuff like that, but again, it's like nothing compared to some of the normal game modes. Again, of course, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know, this is just something that your typical noob will do. Anyway, guys, that is going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you guys did, make sure to let me know down in the comments what you guys have to say. I just want to reiterate this one more time that I'm not trying to offend anybody or anything. This video is based off of my opinion and off of the things that I have seen in game quite often. I did ask my Discord server what they thought about this, so I did pick a couple of different things from my Discord server, but most of these, again, are in my opinion. So again, I don't want anybody to be offended. If you do some of these things, don't worry. It's just a video that is made for entertainment purposes. We are all noobs at one point. We all did these things at one point. So yeah, guys, I hope you did enjoy this video. If you guys did, make sure to click that like button and also subscribe to the channel, because I am a very frequent poster. I do post videos almost every single day of the week, so definitely click that sub button, boys. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys all next time. Hey, do you have Discord? If so, you should definitely join the official Rebirth Discord. The link to it is down in the description. As of right now, we have nearly 2,000 members who are constantly looking for people to play with in the Pixel Gun 3D community. When you join, you can have easy communication with me and everyone else, and it's definitely a really good place to socialize. You know, there's always people who are looking for people to play with. There's always a bunch of good vibes going on, and yeah, this is definitely a good place for you if you have Discord. So, what are you waiting for, man? Go join it.